Carrie, are you still there? Carrie, can you hear us? Am I the only one who can't hear you? Guys, are you able to hear Carrie?
No.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I think maybe she's trying to get back in. Maybe as we wait for her to get back in, maybe anybody who's willing to share how they are doing, how everything is going so far, and how they're feeling today at this moment in time as we wait for Carrie. Well, I just had my my quick lunch, so I would say on a scale of 1 to 10, quite like 6.5. No, 7. I think 7.2 or something. Yeah, the lunch was good. Anyone else who'd like to share how they're feeling as we wait for Carrie to come back? You can just unmute so that it's not...
Hi, can anyone hear me?
Oh, welcome back.
Sorry, it's just bad connection today, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, should I get started, Mary?
Yeah, you can continue. We're just more like trying to chat and checking in how we are doing as we wait for you.
Okay, we can continue doing that. Why don't we start? Mary, how are you doing today?
Okay.
How have you been?
So you missed it. I just told them I'm doing quite all right. So I had a number of meetings, and on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm around 7.2 because I just had lunch. So I think that's a good one. So if it was like 30 minutes before, I would have been around 4.
That's great. Okay, I'm gonna go down the list. Mariam, are you here? Is Mariam here? I don't see a Matilda. Can you unmute and tell us how you are, how you have been, what updates you have for us?
Hello. Hello.
Hi. Yes, I can hear you. I hope everyone else can hear you.
Okay. So how I am doing okay. Right now I'm doing all right, but I was a bit under pressure last week because of the mini task that I hadn't completed, and then I had duties. I had things that I needed to attend to last week, which really took my time. So like for 2 days I wasn't able to complete any task, so I was very much under pressure, very much under pressure. But this week has started okay. I'm grateful, and I have good teammates who are helping me out. So yeah, it's going on well for me. I don't know if I've answered the question. I'm not sure I got you clearly.
Yeah, you definitely did. I'm glad that you are okay. Yes, Mary?
Yeah, I just wanted to follow up with our fellows from Kenya, like Matilda, I think, and Daisy and Margaret. I just saw on the news that they're having a female candidate for vice president in the next election. So I'm just curious to kind of, that's something similar to what we are going through. We don't have so many women in politics across Africa, and similarly to the tech world where we are at. So I'm just curious to hear from them what that makes them feel, and if they're willing to kind of share with us what the situation is with that being the first, I think the first female running, I think, candidate for vice president. Matilda, you can go first, maybe, and others who are based in Kenya.
So for me, it's quite exciting, you know. She's referred to as the Iron Lady, Martha Karua. It's exciting to see a fellow woman just out there making it, and reaching these heights that are, quote unquote, believed to belong to men, and it's very exciting. And she has set a standard that we are slowly following and imitating, and hopefully we will reach greater heights wherever we are as ladies. So yeah, for me it's quite exciting.
Interesting. Others from Kenya, maybe you can share with us. Hey, Daisy, yes, tell us.
Yeah, I was so excited. You see, just like Matilda has said, it's not just any woman, it's Martha Karua. We know her to be the Iron Lady. She has such a good track record. It's one of those people you look back at what she was able to do in her work as Minister for Justice, and there's so much. She has so many accolades, and she's the perfect candidate for a job. Much as at the end of the day, politics in this country is messed up. I'm really hoping that we can see some impact, and it's just really amazing to have a woman sitting in the big rooms, because I feel like there are decisions that without that feminine angle, it does not really add up at the end of the day. So it's really exciting, much as I know it's a PR move to get to swing women to get into voting, and much as I know it's a PR move, I'm honestly very excited and honored to even live through this time in history. It's really encouraging also for women here to get into politics, much as we know it's murky and all of those things. I think it's just the beginning of what? The beginning of a new journey for women here in the country. I'm excited about this, as you can tell. Maybe I'm looking forward this time. And about my progress, how the week has been, I feel from this week has been a lot better. I think it's a lot more calming to know that it's teamwork, and you're going to have some tasks delegated to you, so you're not responsible for the whole end-to-end project. It's also exciting because it's exciting and challenging, because I have to go through statistics again after doing it in school. I'm just okay, now what was I doing in class, because I hardly can remember any concepts. But it's interesting and I'm liking it so far. I feel I also have a good team.
Awesome. There's something interesting that you've mentioned, and maybe, I don't know, Carrie or anybody would want to touch on this as well. You mentioned something it's a PR move.
Yeah.
So in your perspective, do you feel she's not she shouldn't be in that position, or doesn't she deserve it? So maybe because Stella's hand is up, we can hear from her, and maybe from Carrie what you think, because I feel many a times do we get these things because we deserve them, or we get them for the so-called PR move, and to be, for the good image of, including women into the decision-making table? So I don't know who will go first. If it's Carrie, if you have a comment on it, then Stella has her hand up.
Stella can go first. The hand was up. I definitely would like to touch on it, but Stella, go first, please.
Okay, so good afternoon. For my take on Martha Karua, I think that she is very, very competent and she deserves the opportunity she's getting. Also looking back at the country is coming back from, the situation of the previous vice president and the president and the issues they had with leadership. I feel like having a woman who totally understands the basic needs of family and just being there emotionally, connecting with Kenyans emotionally will be totally important, and I feel like she's going to be a very good vice president. Yeah, and it's true that a lot of times women are given opportunities, but just for the sake of we should include women, but not the fact that they're checking out if this person is worth it. So looking back at Martha Karrua's performance as a minister, she also is capable of becoming a vice president. In my end, previously I just did see it happening, but now that it is actually happening, I think I'm really happy about it.
Harry, do you want to pick it up from there? She also mentioned something else interesting. She was like, Stella is like, previously she didn't think that would be a good move, but now because it's happening, she feels like it is. So what's your take on, there are these side comments that are coming in that are quite interesting to kind of discuss as women?
I think that in many cases it is a PR move. I'm going to be quite honest. It's not a matter about whether or not the women are qualified enough or experienced enough. I'm sure that any woman who is appointed to a position of power and authority is qualified just because she has to be. They cannot appoint someone who is not experienced. But I do think that it is, in most cases, a PR move. But at the same time, whether or not it's a PR move, it's still a positive change, because now there is someone who can give a voice to the women of Kenya. And I mean, so I guess I personally have read the story about it and listened to the news this morning, and I thought it was amazing. I don't think this particular situation is a PR move. I think it's something that has happened in the past a lot. But even if it is a PR move from the potential president's part, then it's fine, because at the end of the day, she can take advantage of that, and the women of Kenya can take advantage of that because there's someone to stand up for them. But I don't think I've seen it happen in the past, but I don't think in this case. Everyone wins, Daisy, exactly. Of course, we will see how well she does, where her loyalties lie. But I think she's an excellent candidate for that. So I would love to hear from other Kenyan women here, if they can, let me know what they think.
Yeah, it was interesting to kind of, I read a lot about her when I kind of heard the news. And interesting enough, as much as people would look at it as a PR move, these things, we experience them a lot, especially in our professional world, where even though you're qualified, just being a woman, you're under a specific scrutiny. So like right now, if she manages to become the first lady, the deputy president, I think she'll be the most monitored, the most, compared to all other deputy presidents that went on before. And reading about her legacy, she has actually done a lot, and she's been resilient in the political world and very vocal. So anyway, Margaret has her hand up. She has something to say about that.
Please go ahead, Margaret.
Hi everyone. Mine is just a question.
So I somehow concur with Daisy that it could be a PR move, but so my question is, she could be given the position in there just as a public figure, but how much of her decisions will be taken in? Like, will her voice still be like heard, or she would give ideas to do something, but then there's this group of male that just silence her in the same position? I don't think.
Sorry, I think we lost her.
My question is, if she gets to be the vice president, will her ideas be taken up by the president himself and his team? Like, if there's a decision to be made and she has something different than what the president is saying, will her ideas be shunned, or would they favor the decision made by the president? That's my question.
Well, to be very honest, that one is a battle that we'll be battling with for a very long time. It is a war that we are fighting on different levels, especially when it comes to the decision-making tables. You see, like, already there are questions where people are even before she gets that opportunity, she's already under scrutiny of whether she's able to do that, even despite of the track record that I've read and I've seen, in her political world. She's already under scrutiny whether, okay, is she going to be a flower girl in the state house? They like using the word flower girls because it's more like just for the PR move, or and are her decisions going to be taken seriously? I think it is a battle that we as women will keep fighting for a very long time. And I think for me the prime thing is not to give up on it until we get there. So it's about keep pushing and consistency. And I think she has done, I was looking at her documentaries and her rallies before when I don't know, she was vying for other positions. She seems to be a very vocal woman. But now, will the society accept this? So I don't know if, Kari, you have anything to add on to that, and maybe you can pick it up from there with a session you had prepared.
Yeah, so it's definitely I think it's going to be complicated for her. It's not going to be easy at all. But yeah, as Mary said, she's vocal. She's always been a strong supporter of women's rights. So I'm hopeful for her. Mariam is here. So in terms of what we wanted to do something really informal. I really want to know from each one of you what your motivation, like what is pushing you to get through the next 3 months of this program? What tips do you have to share with us for keeping all of us motivated? And what has been the hardest part so far? So I'm starting with Daisy, if you can go ahead, please.
Okay, thank you, Kari. So how I plan to stay motivated through the program is now that, especially after week 0 and week 1, I have a gist of the activities. For me, I intend to just have a plan through the week, so that even if possible, I'm able to just cover my work during the 5 days that I'm able to get my Saturday for rest as well. And to really lean into the power of community and not just being afraid to ask questions. So I find it really motivating to know that there's someone who's always willing to help, because the pull you ask for help, and they're like, would you want to get on a call so that we can look through the bag? And it's someone you barely know. So I find that very motivating. And then also the other motivating factor for me, even all through, has just been maybe I'll share what Aaron shared yesterday, was remembering why you started. So for me, like even on the hard days, even when I'm sure like I'm missing the point completely, I'm just motivated to keep going because I see where I want to be in like the next 3 months. So even if I'll attend a tutorial session and I'm clearly not getting so much out of it, or like if there's a temptation to be like, no, I need to code, so I'm going to Skype this tutorial session. I think for me the biggest reminder is just the end goal and like the bigger picture of where I see myself. And also for me, another goal for this quarter was really to just get my technical skills right. So whether all this is resulting into a job or not, what matters for me is that I would want to acquire skills that would ensure placement. Placement or not, like I would want to acquire skills. So that really keeps me going. Yeah.
Great. And Daisy, just a question. How have you been managing to balance everything? Because you said you've from after week 1 and week 0 has ended, you've kind of figured out how things work. So you said having a plan in place. So what does that plan look like? And what does the plan look like? How are you managing everything? I'm sure everyone else would love to know, because I know that it's a lot of work for everyone. So if you can just, what does your plan look like?
True, I get that, Carrie. My plan is not very formal, just that I'm also learning to listen to my body. So if it's 5 p.m. and I'm clearly, like I'm sitting on my machine and like my mind is totally blocked, it's become so easy for me to be like, yeah, you know what, we will stop this and try again later. So like I could just stop and maybe wash clothes, or stop and maybe cook dinner. And now and then when I come back, I'm able to do so much. And also just learning that I'm more like a night person, so I get to do so much work into the night. So I'm leaning more into doing my tasks into the night and using the day to attend the sessions rather. But like it's not very clear yet, just that also I think as the weeks go by, I'll keep defining what that looks like for me. But incorporating other activities during the day has helped. I recently got back to working out, so I find that when I work out, like have more stamina to go through the day, and just making sure that there's a plan. Because I live alone, I make sure that I'm doing all my meal prep in the morning, so that when it's lunchtime, I'll just eat, and what I have for lunch is what I'll have for dinner. So like that is sorted, instead of like stopping during the sessions to now start cooking. It can get very distracting. Yeah.
Okay, thanks. That I will be taking some of those tips as well. Stella, your hand is up. Please share with us.
Okay, I hope that you can hear me.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, so for me, okay, I don't like have a really good plan, but I'm taking a day at a time. Just making sure that every day I get something from every session, and so far everything that has happened to me before the training is what is motivating my focus and like dedication to learning. Because before this, I had applied for jobs and I couldn't do well in interviews, and like I wanted to make sure that by the end of these 3 months that I've dedicated to learn, I am able to get a good job. Although of course that's not 100% sure, but I want to give myself
the highest chance to do that. So yeah, that is what I've been doing, taking a day at a time, learning. And of course, when I have the time, like on Sunday, I just make sure that I rest totally, because I figured that I need the rest.
Okay, awesome. Remit, are you there? Can you share with us, please, your motivation, your plan, how things have been going with you? Remit, are you there? Okay, I'm not sure if she's there or if there's something wrong with her mic. Amal, would you like to share with us, please? Can anyone hear Amal or Remit? Can someone just give me an indication? Oh, okay. Amal, your mic is not functioning. If you would like to type, just please type it in the messages so that we can all see. Margaret, please share with us what has been keeping you motivated and what your plan is. How you've been handling things.
Personally, what is keeping me motivated is to finally be able to build myself a somehow comfortable life, also be a bit dependent on myself, and yeah, and for that to happen, I need to get a job that like pays well, but also like I'm more motivated to be in a workplace that has like-minded people, like bright people doing a fun project, so that makes your life more interesting, and at the same time you're comfortable to live your life daily. So that's what motivates me. I hope to get there. How I've been managing, by taking breaks, taking walks, and taking very long showers when I'm feeling stressed, and also asking. Although sometimes you may also want to ask from your peers, and you find that all of you are just on the same page. So that's one of the challenge. But I'm very hopeful, and I'm learning a lot, and I love the skills that we're getting. They are it's something you can personally apply to whether you get a job or not. So you can it's a skill that you can leverage to get yourself some coins in the future. Yeah, that's what I'm grateful for.
Definitely. Celine, would you like to share? I'm asking everyone what is keeping them motivated throughout. Okay, Amal has replied, thanks, that's amazing. Celine, what is keeping you motivated throughout this program? What are you using to get yourself through the next 3 months of this? Because I think everyone needs advice right now. So if you can share, please do. Celine, if your mic is not working, please add it in the chat. Okay, she left. Okay, so I want to know what has been the hardest part. I think everyone is. Okay, Matilda, I have not asked you. I apologize. What has been motivating you, and what plan do you have in place to get yourself through the next 3 months?
So what has been motivating me? I take breaks from time to time. I have some roles in church, so I like spending time there while I take my breaks, and maybe catching up with friends, making calls, 1 or 2 calls. It's more like a breather for me. Taking walks also, and cooking. I enjoy cooking. So as I take my breaks, sometimes I just take time and go get food from the market and cook something nice and eat, and then get back to work. And the plan that I have for the remaining weeks is I have realized that it's okay from my week 0 and week 1 experience. Time planning and time blocking is very, very, very super important, and it's something that I'm still learning. Planning my time, planning the tasks that I need to do when, learning things very fast, and just purposing to be so good throughout. So it's something that I'm trying to learn, and also the fact that I really can't work. I really can't do much work at night, so I would rather just sleep early and wake up very early in the morning, and then work. I find myself working more efficiently, and I'll be more productive on that day rather than staying up late and then waking up late. I would be a lazy person the following day. So I think that's just what works out for me. Thank you.
Thank you. That's also very helpful, I think, to everyone. So a lot of people, women, have left the meeting. I'm not sure. I think they are having connection issues. Amal needs help managing her time. Can someone please give Amal some advice? Matilda spoke about time blocking, so can anyone please contribute? Amal, I really find it helpful when I have to get things done. I set an alarm or a timer for 45 minutes, and I force myself to get a task done in that 45 minutes. No standing up, no looking at anything else like my phone. Can someone else assist? Mariam, what do you use to... There we go, Mariam. Please, and Margaret after Mariam. What do you guys use for time management?
Hello everyone, can you hear me?
Yeah, can hear you.
Okay. So good to see you guys again, or hear from you guys again. So I think in terms of time management, what really helps me is just like assigning tasks to a particular to a duration. So if I have my to-do list and I'm like, oh, I want to read about ABC 1 hour, 8 to 9. I make sure I start by 8, and I make sure even if I've not really completed that task till 9, I have closed that chapter. I don't know if that makes sense, because if you spend more time on a task that you've like put a particular duration, so if you let it spill over another task, you are kind of cheating the other task, if that makes sense. So like you said, you spend more time researching instead of practicing. So say you assign 2 hours to your research and you assign another 1 hour to your practice. Make sure the moment it is time for you to close that research time, close up. Then with what you've learned so far, just carry on to the next task that you have. And also because obviously we get carried away with time, you can set set multiple reminders on your phone. So you can put 9, I'm supposed to finish this task. So 5 minutes to that time, set a reminder saying rounding up task A, if that makes sense. So don't put, I think there shouldn't be so much pressure on completing the task. Like we've always said in the past, like progress, not perfection. So there shouldn't be so much pressure on finishing the task, but at least making sure you're giving equal attention to all these tasks you're supposed to do. And I know it might not sound so super realistic, but the thing is, you will just get started, then see how it goes. You don't have to put so much pressure on, oh, I need to finish this task. But make sure you've like allotted a time for it. Within that time, do what you can do towards that task, then go to your next task. So you're not cheating the task, if that makes sense. I think Margaret.
Yeah, Margaret.
I'm not an expert with time management, but I'll just share what has worked for me since week one. I noticed that Ten Academy really requires you to have a lot of time to fully focus, and I feel like that cannot be achieved if you're in a noisy environment. And by noisy, I don't mean sound, I mean the people around you, what is going on around your environment and all. So that could somehow take your focus and like once in a while. And for me, I had to find a place where I can sit quietly, no distractions, and with that you have your brain to focus on this one thing, and that is how you get to have more time to work on the tasks. So just try and find a perfect environment. Yep.
Thank you. Yeah, I definitely think that working in a quiet, peaceful place is the best. Well, maybe other people like working in noisy spaces, but I think that a quiet space, a space with no distractions, definitely helps. So Daisy, do you have any time management tips for us?
Not quite. I'm really not the best at time management. But what has really helped me in the past is maybe say beginning of the week, I identify like the key activities that I have to do. I tried scheduling on say Google Calendar. On Google Calendar, but that was not working for me because it's still a chore to come and like say the things you have to do through the day. But like just having the basic things you have to do through the day and repeating them over and over again until it sort of becomes routine. I find that works for my mind. So if I'm supposed to wake up at 6 and it's routine, I've been doing that over time, I'm most likely to just wake up at 6. If my first thing is working, like if the first thing I'm supposed to do is working out and then maybe brush my teeth and then maybe wash my face, you get what I'm saying? Like it's sort of just become routine to know the things that you want to do and must do them. And now the adjustment to Ten Academy was just knowing that I have to either do everything else in the morning or in the evening before I sleep, so that I block out the rest of the day to attend to the tasks we're being given at Ten Academy. That makes sense.
Definitely makes sense. Great. And I think falling into a routine does help. Stella and Matilda, time management tips, planning tips, please share. I think we spoke about, okay, Stella, raise a hand, go ahead, please.
Okay, so a tip I can give is maybe apart from giving your time to definitely doing everything that you're supposed to do at an academy first and prioritizing that. For me, what has worked is planning to do my assignments earlier instead of like waiting for the last minute to do it. Because like last week I experienced a moment where I did not have power and I couldn't submit my tasks early. So from that I've learned to just work with very early deadlines for submissions and like personal targets. Yeah.
I think that's awesome, and I think that starting your assignments as soon as you get it, and I'm just speaking from the careers perspective, but even if you haven't attended the tutorial yet, for example, you might get the assignment on Monday and the tutorial will be on Wednesday. I think that's happening this week. So if you can start the assignment as soon as you have access to it, and then just figure things out throughout the tutorial where you can get more clarity and information. But I think that with everyone in Africa having various problems with electricity and connectivity, it's probably best if you start your assignments early so that there's a smaller chance of you missing out. So yeah, thank you for the contributions. I just want to know what has been Mariam, your hand is still up. Okay.
Sorry, I guess it was a mistake. Yeah.
I want to know what has been the hardest part for you for the past few weeks. Everyone can have a turn. Like I'm not speaking about the exercises. I'm talking about what has been difficult for you. Has anyone experienced anything outside of 10 Academy that has been difficult? And remember, this is a safe space. We won't be sharing any information. So if there's anything you want to share, please go ahead. Okay, I guess no one has anything. Okay, Margaret.
I just wanted to say that I have nothing at the moment. It's just so quiet.
Okay. Mary, do you have anything else that you want to add? I think we are close to the end of the session. We'll be ending in 10-12 minutes.
Okay, I think as many have said, things that have worked for me, especially when it comes to time management, as the to-do list thing, is it's underrated, because I think it has helped me a lot in terms of like keeping track of my tasks and knowing what's pending, and also to kind of even evaluate yourself, you know, in a point where I work virtually a lot, and my workmates are all over the place. So the only time, even my own supervisors, they're away. So the only time you're able to kind of ensure that you complete your tasks and you do them well, it's ensuring that they're written down somewhere and you know what their priorities are, as Mariam said, like which one comes first, which one comes second, and you know, against the deadlines and all that. So I think on the time management bit, that would be my my take on how I've managed to do that. And I think on the rest of the stuff, especially you know, especially when we were talking about the female president and vice president to be, or maybe a candidate for vice president, I think the challenge is usually our mindset. Sometimes even us as females, yes, there's that societal pressure that comes from out there, and sometimes we are unable to control that. That's outside our control. But what is it that is within our control that we can start working on? One is ourselves. So sometimes we are quick to blame the societal pressure even before we deal with the issues we create ourselves. Like, you know, we already, you know, that mindset where you're not good enough, or maybe a female president or female vice president wouldn't be good enough. Like that mindset around that is influenced a lot by cultural situations. So I think the best way and the most sustainable way to deal with this is that, they say charity begins from home. We start from working on our own mindsets, and start looking at things not only on one dimension. So kind of look at life in different dimensions before we come to a specific judgment. So I would say, let's work on ourselves as well, and work on our self-belief and believe in our own kind first, before we try to tackle the issues that are out there. That's it from my end.
Thank you so much. Rafa, you've joined. I think you missed a lot. We've been speaking about motivation, what's been keeping us motivated, and what plans we have in place to get through the next 3 months. And do you have any time management tips? Could you please share with us before the session ends in 10 minutes? And welcome.
Yeah, hi. I couldn't just, I wasn't able to join, unfortunately. So yeah, I missed it. But I hope you really have like a good discussion here about what motivates everyone. I mean, from my side, what motivates me to finish this 3 months is that I have a goal that I want to be kind of a figure in this field of technology, and especially in AI. Whether or not, I can see the assignments, and when sometimes people just zoom in the very small area and having these blockers. I mean, mine, I have it too, but I just start to zoom out the bigger picture and the large picture and see exactly what I want, because that really helped me just go through, even whatever it is, seems to be hard or difficult at some point. Just when I feel like I'm in a very stuck with something, I just have to zoom out and look at the larger picture. I think
Thank you. Do you have any time management tips? Because Amal left, but she said she was struggling with time management. So if you have any time management and planning tips to share, because I know that everyone's schedules are full of exercises and tutorials and community building sessions. So what are you doing to manage your time around everything?
Yeah, it's not easy to manage time, actually. I'm trying, but I'd like to see if others have a good timetable so that they are following, or for instance, if they are having good tips for time management.
Okay, so we've had tips such as making to-do lists, time blocking, prioritizing which tasks come first, second, third in your list, and prioritizing the most important tasks, finding a quiet space to work, a peaceful space where you aren't bothered. Someone said that she prefers to wake up early and go to sleep early and work in the daytime. And I think someone else said that I think Daisy said she prefers to work later into the night and just attend the exercises during the day. So those are the time management and planning tips that we got today.
Okay, nice. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, the session is coming to an end in a few minutes. Mariam, do you have anything to share as we close out?
I really just want to add to what most of us have said, and it will be just cutting off distraction. Personally, I know if my phone is with me and I have a bunch of things to do, by the time I enter Twitter, TikTok, I've spent 1 hour and I don't know like, and I'll be like, where has this time gone? I'll just scrolling through these videos. So like, I'd rather just like keep my phone for like a far distance, like where I will like easily get to it. So that way I know phone is out of it, that will not like distract me. If you are like in a place where you probably have like young siblings that will probably be disturbing you, you can easily like lock the room and like give them that instruction saying, oh please, I need to focus for like 3 to 5 hours, I don't need interruptions and stuff like that. So I think cutting off distractions to also work, and like what Margaret said, noise. So if you know noise will distract you and stuff like that, you can also like cut off things out, probably take your time from doing the things you're supposed to do. I'm also trying to get the title of, what's it called? There is a movie in relation to like the female in governance thing. There is this movie I watched, it was about I don't know if that makes sense, but I just want to recommend it so like people can watch also, just to relax in their free time. Yeah.
Please share with us when you get it, so that we can also entertain ourselves with it, maybe empower ourselves with it.
Yeah, please share, Mariam. And also there's this movie which people probably know about called Hidden Figures, I think it's called. So it's based in the States. Oh, The Governor. Thank you, Mariam. I need to check that out. But Hidden Figures, it's about female scientists, I think. And it was also very inspiring to watch, and really cool to see women like that getting to those positions. So if anyone has any questions about things going ahead, please ask, as we will be closing now. We've got the careers tutorial tomorrow, I believe, for the tools for remote work exercise, which Mariam and I will touch on more tomorrow in more detail. But just to let you know, it's quite it's a lot more interactive than the past tutorials that you've had. It might require a lot more work for you. So please attend the tutorial session for the careers exercise tomorrow. If you cannot, it will be recorded and we will provide the tutorial slides, of course, but it will certainly be more interactive because the tools that we will be speaking about will be required probably going forward as the world works more remotely. So if you have any questions, please add them now, ask them now. Okay, I think we are sorted. Then Abdullah, I think we can stop the recording and we can say goodbye to one another, and thank you all